Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to my channel. Today we are still plowing. Last time I left, you can see it's been several hours by the clock since you last joined me. I did hire a worker in the same, and I bought him a larger plow. We had the red plow, and I went up to the green plow, which is the next size up, whatever size it is. I'm not sure the working length, but between the two of us, we are getting a lot done. We have so far we finished 20, 28, and I believe 24 are all plowed. Whoops, wrong button. So things are going well. You can see here, because this had the chaff left over from, or the chopped straw left over from our canola harvest. I couldn't remember what it was called. I'm thinking lucerne, no. Rape, no. Well, yeah, it is rape, but we call it. We're more civilized here in the United States, and so we call it whatever, canola. I'm just kidding. Okay, so the canola, you can see here the nutrients are like at 7 and over in this section, and 3 and 8 and higher, because what happens is as you plow these chopped straws into the ground, it becomes fertilizer for the ground. So that's pretty cool. So we won't have to fertilize, but I am going to. We're having a weed problem, and that's just how this mod works. You get weeds all the time, so you're going to have to constantly be spraying for weeds. So I'm going to have to run. I'm going to run before. My next step, I think, is once I'm done doing this, I am going to fertilize. I'm sorry, I'm going to spray X, which will kill all the weeds on the field, and then I'm going to cultivate it. And that should just, be another day's worth of work. And then we'll seed. Some of the fields will need to have nutrients sprayed into them because, but we can do that after we plant. Because they're not, I did the baling on the big field, and some of the other fields we used up the bales. And so what happens is you don't get any chopped straw, so there's no nutrients. So like here where we have a lot of nutrients in the soil, we're not going to have that on the maps where we didn't, or the fields where we didn't, oh my gosh, my brain is not working. On the fields where we collected the straw and didn't grind it back into the ground, those fields will not give us the nutrients like this field is giving them to us, because we're smushing them back in. So anyway, that's what I'm trying to get at. And see, I just have him run his little cross pattern, and then he gets a little shorter pattern each time he runs, because obviously I'm shortening the field for him. And what really stunk was I did the big field, field 20 there in the middle, that huge field that we have. I did it once and then came back the next day only to realize I didn't save my game when I exited. So I had to do the whole field over again. And that's when I decided to hire the worker. The first time I did it by myself, and it took hours. And then I realized I didn't save the game. I'm like, no. I tried to look for a way to edit the XML so that I wouldn't have to do it over again. I could just make the field status plowed, but I couldn't find anything in the XML files to change to make it so that it shows that the fields were plowed. I'm not sure where they store that data, but it's not in any of the regular XML files. There's got to be a field status file somewhere, though. I'm just missing it, so it might be in Career Save Game, but I went through there pretty carefully and didn't find anything that said like field status 1, field status 2. All it had was ownership of the field. So you had like, does he own field number 1 ownership? True or false? True. Field number 3 ownership, true or false? False. I didn't see any kind of parameter for field status or check field or anything like that. So, oh well. Start over. But yeah, so you can see here we're making pretty good progress. I also found out that you cannot run the tedder backwards. any of the headers that I found. None of them run backwards. However, I did find a baler that's a real one, made by New Holland, that's actually a windrower and baler. It's a 10-meter windrower, so 30 feet. And it windrows on the go, so you can you can just run along. You don't have to windrow. You just, like if you mow the grass, you just leave it out and then you take the baler. I didn't buy it for this farm though, and unfortunately the links that it gave were both like virus links, so that was like ul.to or whatever, and they both had like tons of viruses on them when you tried to open them up. So I was like, I'm not going to do that right now. I gave up on that. But it was cool. It's just neat to see some of these. A lot of the equipment that you find in this game, like when I originally saw the Big M, I'm like, that's not real. But nope, it's real. The Big L, though, is not real. The Krone Big X Beast, which originally I thought was not real, is actually real. And I even saw a New Holland one. I don't know if it was a custom modification or something that they were testing, but they had a New Holland forage harvester that also did the same thing that the Krone Beast does. And that basically it adds a storage trailer on the back of the forage harvester. So you forage and it sprays it into that bin, and then a tractor will pull alongside you and it unloads the bin. But then that way, when the tractor is going to deliver its load to the farm, the forage harvester can keep going, and it fills up its built-in bin, just like a real harvester, like not real harvester, but a regular harvester. So that was kind of cool. Ryan has arisen from the basement. Have a bad night's sleep down there, Ryan? Yeah, it's because you slept down in the basement. Basement sleeping never worked for me. I used to sleep on the couch down in the basement at my house. Sometimes when it was, in the summertime when it was hot. But I'd always wake up with a headache. All the carbon monoxide down there. We don't have gas in this house. Yeah, I wonder if you don't have gas, you probably can't have carbon monoxide in a house, can you? How would you get it? I mean, obviously with the fireplace that would be a problem, maybe. But if you have a house, I don't know. So work's been going well. One of the problems that I have, though, of course, is you're always fighting the weather. So this week I was supposed to do all these Cleveland properties, and I did them all except for one, but I had to do them on a rush schedule because the first day it was completely gray all day, so I had to cancel, and then I had to move everything back one day, and then the same thing happened to me just today. Right now it's Thursday. By the time you guys see this video, it'll be some other day, but I was scheduled to go to Columbus today, and that got canned because the weather is just crap right now, and it's going to get better tomorrow, so I'm going to be leaving very early in the morning tomorrow morning to get there, probably around, well, not very early, but like 7 o'clock in the morning. I'll start heading towards Columbus. I was going to do 3 shoots today and 3 shoots tomorrow, but now I'm going to have to try to get all 6 shoots done in one day. I don't know that that's going to happen. I do have my business credit card with me, so if I have to stay overnight and work on Saturday down there, I will. But I have a property scheduled up here in Cleveland on Saturday also. So unfortunately, I'm going to have to work down there and then get back up here and work up here. And then, so Thursday is now the new Saturday. And that's okay. Though I will be working today. I'm just goofing around this morning. Well, it's actually the afternoon right now. It's like 1:30. My wife had to use my office to do some work, and so I'm letting her finish up, and then when she's done, I'm going to hop in there and start editing photos. But I figured, hey, I'll grab some farm sim footage while she's doing that and make an episode. So here, look, we're almost done. We're really cooking on this field now. So I would say this field, I think I started this field around 1300, maybe 1330, something like that. So it's 15:15 now, so it's only been about, it hasn't even been a full 2 hours on this field. So you can see with with a hired worker running one plow and you running the other plow, you can get a lot done fairly easily. It really was not much of a challenge to get this finished. And as long, obviously this tractor is dragging a huge plow, but the interesting thing is the wider they are, it doesn't seem like they really get you much extra real estate. And I've also noticed that this plow has a tendency to not be able to plow over some areas. You can see back, we'll pass it again, but there's an area back over there where there's a little bump in the field, and it misses every time I go around the bump. And I've also found areas on these fields where I just can't plow. It's like dead spots, and that's part of the programming. That's a programming issue. So, and that guy leaves a spot every time he's... There we go. But this is the largest plow you can get, and the other one doesn't, it is wide. For sure it's wider. I mean, we're cutting a huge swath with this still, but it's just not as wide as one would hope. See all those spots over there where I didn't get, and that's just because there's like a little dip or something, and the plow just won't get it. You can see it happen twice, so it's not like one thing. But the Terrados has been working out great. I'm sorry, the variant has been working out great. So with 600 horsepower, you can hear it's not even revving that hard to pull this thing. It's, other tractors are like, this thing's like, though sometimes it actually will. You'll hear it shift up. I'm also really enjoying the engine on-off mod. I think just in general, it makes the game a lot more realistic. Though I still have to remember sometimes when I get in, I'm like, wait a minute, why isn't it going? I like pull the gas and nothing happens. Or the diesel in this case. Somebody had said that they never fill up their tractors. I had to put almost $2,000 worth of gasoline in this thing after plowing all those fields. So this definitely eats up the gas with these. I don't know. I always have to fill my tractors up. I don't know. Somebody was saying that they never have to fill their tractors up, and why even bother with gas? But I haven't found that to be the case. I find that, I'm always using up gas. I'm always filling my track. Usually I fill them up every time I run them, so whenever they're done, I just fill them back up again. But, yeah, looking good. I mean, look how quickly we're eating this up. And it's funny, sometimes you run into each other, but I'd say probably on this field I've had maybe 3 or 4 meets with the other tractor. Maybe more. Towards the beginning, I actually ran into him more. For some reason, as the field gets smaller, I run into him less. You'd think it'd be the other way around, or as the work area gets smaller. The field doesn't actually get smaller. So really all I have left is that one small wheat field that we did. And I have to think about what I'm going to plant on these. Definitely the field that was sugar beets is going to be corn, like we talked about before. We're going to use that for forage. And we're definitely going to be using these. We need wheat fields because obviously we're going to need straw for the cows when we buy them. I'd like to do one more round of foraging. We may forage grass this time. Because I don't have the straw. The straw probably won't be ready, but we'll get enough money together to buy a whole bunch of cows, and then we'll start. I think I got all the feeding equipment and everything. I don't remember. I'll have to look through my garage again, but I think I have everything I need to feed the cows. And I did find, and I think we talked about it before, there's a a MAN truck that uses the IT runner. Well, somebody brought something up that I didn't think about before. He was talking about the Homer variant and hooking up an IT runner to it, which we've done, and it doesn't work super well, but it works. It's not graceful. But this MAN truck that I found that also has an IT runner attachment works great with an IT runner attached to the back. So I think down the road I'd like to eventually purchase. You can put, obviously 2 grain trailers or 2 slurry tanks or, 2 manure wagons using the IT runner in this truck because it uses the same exact attachments as the IT runner. So you can double everything. You can basically have 2 IT runners, but one of them is powered. And that is a really cool, what's the word I'm looking for, like feature or it's a very useful piece of equipment then, because one IT runner usually is not enough to get things done. Usually you need like more capacity. You could do it, but it requires such a huge tractor to pull it that it kind of becomes expensive. You're looking at a $300,000 tractor to pull the IT runner. Well, having that truck, which cost about $300,000, now you have a truck that pulls it, and it adds a second IT runner. So it's a really cool. I'll show you that in a minute here. I might have bought one. I don't remember what I bought, so I have to look and see. But it's definitely on the list of things that we're going to do on the farm, and then we can sell our trailers, and we'll just use that. So I'm pretty sure I got everything the Redux uses. Or the variant. I keep calling it the Redux. I don't know why. I have everything that the variant uses, but we could add that IT runner in as a second, or as our grain puller. Plus, it's faster. It's easier to use than those big dolly trailers. Though we'll probably keep those too. I don't know. We'll see. We shall see. It does the Bergman trailers, so we can use it for silage for when we're foraging. When we forage. Ooh. All right. So we're going to keep plowing, and I will pick up with you in a little bit. And so we are almost done with this field. Now I'm actually getting in the other guy's way. And I've had to go to double wheel steering to make the corners because it's getting tight. See, by the time I get around here, I have to wait for him because he's setting up for his run. I let the worker have the right of way. Oh. There we go. Oh, he didn't leave a little boop that time. Got it all. What's up, mate? Mater's down here. Being cute, running around. Like the little fella he is. I screwed up. I want to go this way. Alright, hold on a second here. Alright, hey, Ryan, where did Ryan go? Shoot. Oh, see, now it's not cutting. This is what I'm talking about. There's places sometimes it doesn't cut. That's weird. Near miss plow passing. Alright, so we're going to leave this guy parked here for a sec. And I'm going to, whoops, hop into this dude. And we're going to fire the worker. And we're going to do the rest of it manually because we're almost done. But there's a couple spots that need to be cleaned up. And I find that a lot of times when I'm done with the field, there's those little spots. This plow will get most of the stuff that the other tractor won't get. Once in a while, though, you run into things that it won't plow. But in general, this one gets those extra little spots. So there's the other plow couldn't hit that, but this one does. Nope, and then drop it. And so we clean that up, and then I'm going to get over here and hit these couple spots that I missed over on this end with the big plow. Mark, if you're goofing around, can you find Ryan and tell him to bring up the air compressor so I can clean out that Mac? We'll just get rid of these little spots here. There's another spot over there, it looks like, to the left. It's gonna be hard. I have an iMac, and it's something happened, and it's the fans are running like full bore all the time, and unfortunately they're really a pain in the butt to take apart. So I know they're held together with magnets, but people are saying it's really difficult to get them clean. Unfortunately, I might have to take it apart. I'm hoping I don't. I hope I can just blast some air in there. And I know it's not the greatest idea, but it is what it is. Otherwise, I'm going to have to take it to the Mac store. And it's not like that. It's a 2011, so it's an old computer. It's not like it's new. But I was a little disappointed because I bought it maybe like 6 months ago, and it's already having issues. But it's, like I said, it's old. I knew there'd be a little bit of issue going on. I didn't think I'd have so many problems with it as I'm having now. The other iMac that I've had until now has been pretty much flawless. I'm just starting to have issues with that one. That one's about 5 years old, or 4 years old. But the downside with them is they're pretty much, unless you're, even as a computer technician, they're fairly unserviceable, which sucks. They made them so that they're really difficult to service. Is that what it did? Am I doing it? Nope, that's not what I wanted. I want to fold this guy up. Which is this one. Yeah, that's it. Okay, there we go. So we're going to run this guy over to the other field and start him over there, and we'll hop into the store and see what... I'm going to save my money. I'm not spending any money right now until we have a second crop already, almost grown. But if we can pull another silage harvest from our lawns, we can then make some money that way, and we'll get the cows going. But we can't really do the cows honestly until we have straw and all that stuff built up. So we'll see. It's going to be, as usual, starting the cows is the hard part because they need a lot of food. Now in this game they don't really, as we've talked about before, they don't really what's the word I'm looking for? They don't emulate the cows not getting fed and then dying because they're starving to death, but I guess they do with the pigs and the beef. They actually, if you don't feed them, they will start disappearing. So you have to keep them fed. Oh, and by the way, this is the stock plow, so it's kind of funny that it bounces all the time when you drive it. It's kind of a goofy thing. All right, so this guy, I think, the hard thing is with this with these maps, it's hard to find a good place to start, and I found that the tractor does not, since it's kind of a free-form map, the tractor doesn't, you kind of have to manually get the guy started and then clean up what he misses, because he'll miss a lot of stuff. So let's see if we can get this thing digging in. Come on, unfold. There we go. That's all right, because we're going to go around the outside with the other plow. So we'll let this guy get to work. Hopefully he'll turn left instead of right, but we'll find out when we get there. Look at that. So we're going to fold this guy up. And it's up. Okay, there we go. Okay, hit the road. This thing needs to be cleaned severely. I'm plowing all these fields. It does get to a certain point though, and it doesn't get any dirtier. I was wondering if it would just keep getting dirty, but I haven't cleaned it in like 6 fields, and it's kind of gotten to like this messy spot, and then it's kind of been left at that. So let's see if I can fit through here. Yeah, there we go. Oh, wrong field. Sorry, neighbor. Actually, I think that's my field. It's part of it. It's got our farm sign on it, so All right, which way did that guy go? Did he come back? Okay, he came back on the right side. That's good. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to set up here to plow. Nope, I don't want to lower it yet. I just want to unfold it. There we go. And once again, as we go around the outside of the field, a lot of times this plow doesn't get to the edge. It's kind of weird how it does that. If I might be in this guy's way. We'll see what happens. If you can figure it out. Yeah, he's waiting for me. Oops, I'm backing up with the plow down. That's never a good thing. All right, there he goes. And so we begin again the same pattern that we were doing before. I'll go around the outside and let him kind of chop it in the middle. And each time he does a pass, it'll get a little smaller. And between the two of us, we should be able to get this done pretty quickly. Maybe like 10, 15 minutes, half an hour. We shall see. But you can see here, this is just not, it's not cutting everything. It's cutting, well, it's getting most of it, but there's a little bit of a bug. I suppose you'd have to turn the crop limitation off so that you can do the whole field. Oh, come on. He's going to get stuck on that fence. We're going to have to watch him, make sure he gets back on. Is he going to get back on? Or did he quit? See, what sucks is if he quits, it's going to screw up because... See if he can figure it out. Hopefully he'll figure it out. I'm going to let him go for a minute and see what he does. There, okay, he turned. Good. He might screw up a line, but it's okay. I'd rather that than him be stuck. Oops, wrong way. There we go. And so, no, he's doing good. Okay. Yay. Well, we need to get a screenshot, too, for the... So I can do this while I'm driving. Yeah, right into the bushes. All right, I gotta wait. I'm gonna wait till I get a better position here, so I'm not all over the place. There we go. Try that again. There we go. That'll make a cool screenshot. All right, so I'd say by, let's see, so it's 3:40 right now. So the hope is by like 5 o'clock we'll be done with all the fields. This is the last field that I have to plow. And I can get out there with the crop killer, the X herbicide that kills everything on the field, and we'll just nix all the fields of any kind of weeds. And then tomorrow morning we'll be ready to cultivate and then plant. So the cultivation should go a lot faster. Obviously, I got the largest cultivator, as you saw in the last episode, or one of the last episodes. And so we're going to be cultivating pretty dang quickly. What's up, Mark? What? Cascade? What? K-A-S-K-A-D? What's that? Oh, what Mom's listening to? That's funny. Oh, see, now we are running into this guy all the time. Oh, he's going to get stuck again. Okay, well, we're going to just go past him while he's figuring that out. Hopefully he'll figure it out again. Figure it out. And the faster we get this cut in, the less that's going to happen. So I think probably 1 or 2 more passes and he won't get stuck again at that end. But what are you going to do? It happens. At least they fixed it so they don't give up totally. I know back early on in the game, the workers would just kind of quit. Ooh, look, there's the castle. I didn't even see that. Wow, we're really close here. I didn't realize this was next door. Wow. Yeah, I guess it is. How about that? That means the road down is over there, too. I guess at the beginning we did come up that quote-unquote back way, but I'm gonna have to go around the edge of this field here when we're done and clean up those sections. There, see there, right there, they left a matching patch there, so that's one area where the plow just isn't going to get. Oops, I lost control. Started swinging. Sometimes I'll turn off the four-wheel steering, but this field is kind of, it has a lot of sharp corners, and so I need the four-wheel steering to get around the corners. Seems like corners too, like right here, we're probably going to leave a spot where it doesn't get plowed. Maybe. No, it did it. Okay, well, that's cool. No, right there. Yep. There's a certain point when you're turning around a sharp corner that it doesn't plow for whatever reason. It won't get it. So I'm gonna have to go back with the little plow and do it manually. So I'm going to Colorado on Monday. That's going to be fun. Columbus tomorrow and Saturday, and then I have a shoot in Medina on Saturday, and then I've got my flight leaves Monday for Colorado. I did miss the big snowstorm, thankfully. I know some of you were saying when I had said originally I was going to go out there, the person that was booking the flight ended up getting very sick. She had the flu, and so she was not there to book it for me, which actually worked out great because over, like right before Easter, they got hit with a major snowstorm, and actually one of the employees was at that site, and she ended up getting stranded out there for the pretty much most of that weekend. So I'm kind of glad that I actually missed out on being out there. Plus, it wouldn't have made great pictures anyway because I need to do outdoor photos, and I want it to be, at least, well, not a blizzard. So I think it's warmed up out there since that happened last week, and so hopefully when I get out there it'll be nicer weather. Yeah, see, it left the spot there too, so we're just gonna have some cleanup to do. There's a spot right there that it left, and I think what happens is because the plow is so long, it actually raises up out of the ground, and then you miss the spot. So there's that spot back there that it left on the curve, and the curves make it worse for some reason. I'm not sure why, but here's a spot right here that's probably going to leave. That kind of sucks. You'd think the plow in real life would dig in deep enough that it wouldn't, do that. Even if you did have a little variance, it just wouldn't plow as deep. But it's a game. Oh, they'll have to do that. Yeah, it's just all the way around. Rats. Whoa, this guy screwed up. Yeah. Gonna fix that. Oops, still in. Takes this plow a while to raise because it's so long. It's got those two separate segments. It's got the front and back segment. There we go. Got this guy coming back. So, all right, I'm going to take a break here for a minute, and we're going to continue plowing, and then I will come back and join you guys once I get closer to being done, and we'll go clean this equipment up and take a look at what our next move is. I think I figured something out. I think the reason why it does that, where it leaves it when you're cornering, is that the blades reach a certain point of there's something about the way it goes around the curve that causes the blades not to be able to cut. Probably, I would imagine in real life, you probably don't do a lot of turning when you're running the plow. They probably really do just go up, back and forth. But there have to be places where they have to go around curves. I mean, but it seems like you probably would not be turning a plow too often. You'd probably be just running it straight. I'll have to look online and see what I see on YouTube, see if I see people turning their tractors when they have plows attached, or if they just lift the plow up and start a new row. Something interesting to take a look at. Am I doing something unrealistically? Yeah. Oh, and the other thing I wanted to point out here, you can see there's because there's no chop straw on the ground here. You can see there, it's all just stubble. It's not the actual chop straw. You can see here my nutrients are low. I think N is supposed to be at 6, and we're at 4, so we're gonna have to spray some N on here once this guy's done. Another thing that you can do, you know, I'm trying to plow all this under, but there are those spots. If I'm you know, too busy feeling and not really wanting to go back and actually plow all those, because that's going to take a long time to plow all those sections under, I can always just run over it with the cultivator. It's, you know, it's just that one little spot won't get plowed, but it's not the end of the world. So you don't have to plow every single inch of the field. In real life, I'm sure there's spots that they miss, though. I don't know. They're pretty thorough. Farmers are usually pretty thorough with their plowing, from what I've seen anyway. It's not like, oh, I just left that spot unplowed. They plow the parts that they're going to use. I have so much dead grass on my front lawn. I feel like plowing up my yard and starting over. I just need to plow for my little lawn tractor. That'll kill the transmission. All right, there's all that. What's up, Mikey? Sir, yes, sir. I'll go back and clean that up that I missed. Jeez, I missed a lot of spots. You got that all set up, Rue? Huh? What? Why are you mad at me? Yeah, no, I'm not even going. I'm going still. It's just not going to be till tomorrow. Right, like you weren't playing video games all night. Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, I can't control the weather. That's the one thing I have no control over. You know as well as I do, the weather does what it's going to do. That's what my job is. All right, so I'm going to, let's see here. I messed up. I was supposed to keep going straight, so now I'm lost. I have to come back around. But, yeah, it takes some time, doesn't it? All right, guys, so we'll catch up with you in a little bit.